Hello there, Fate fan! Have you ever considered getting into the wonderful but miserable world of Warhammer 40K? It's got all of your favourite things, like an evil priest, pink things that make insufferable noises, holy women who will fight you, little blue marines, and a big golden man who is the king of everything. And it only costs the same as you would spend whaling for 5 copies of your waifu, making it the second worst financial decision that you will ever make. So why not head down to your nearest Games Workshop today, tell them that they suck as a company, but buy their models anyway, and enjoy this video. My boyfriend and I recently finished reading Fate Hollow Ataraxia, and at one point in the novel, Artoria is described as wearing an ultramarine skirt.
Yeah,
which set us off on a little side tangent.
It just made us suddenly stop and go, Artoria would play ultramarines in 40k. But would she actually, though?
That is a good point. I mean, back when we were reading Hollow Ataraxia, I didn't play 40k. I didn't know or like 40k, but I do now, I guess.
Yeah, you kind of do now. That's a change.
That's a change. I just like having little things to paint.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. We won't tell them. Guess what? You Babylon Knight fans, you have to now guess what is her favorite faction in 40k. Put it in the comments. I want to see your suggestions.
Yes, I think one of my regular viewers knows, but yeah, what is my favorite faction, guys?
Artoria. For real, though, while she's usually, she's wearing blue, and she's wearing ultramarine, I tell you what, I don't think she plays ultramarines.
Yeah, I feel like they are the post child, but I don't think many people who aren't new to the franchise really like them.
Yeah, I think that there are a few people who kind of like the Roman aesthetic, but otherwise not really. In all honesty, I actually think she would play Dark Angels. Dark Angels are very knightly. They are quite medieval knight themed. There is kind of an edge to them. They have a lot of conspiracy to them, and they're not always the most, good. Their Primarch is called the Lion.
And she is the Lion King, so she probably would like that.
Yeah. He is also Captain Genocide. His first instinct when he finds out that a planet has, rebelled isn't, squash the rebellion and then take it back over. It's, I'm just going to blow up the planet.
Yeah.
That's kind of his first instinct. He's kind of nuts like that. Very scorched earth. And so the Dark Angels kind of are as well. And I thought that wouldn't really play well with Artoria's personality. But then I thought about what we hear about her as a king. Apparently she can be pretty cruel and, she engaged in pretty bloody wars.
Like I say, she probably would enjoy Warhammer Fantasy more than 40k, but that's not what this is about.
Yeah, I think if she was playing Warhammer Fantasy, she'd probably play Bretonnians.
Yes. She would play the ones based on the sort of Arthurian knight. Thing is with Artoria, it's kind of like what we said with World of Warcraft and also the D&D stream that we did quite a while ago. I can't imagine her playing anything other than what she is in things.
Yeah.
I don't see enough of, her tastes and interests. So I imagine that she would just be like, I'm going to pretend to be a knight, but in this. So she probably would play, what's the 40k faction that is the most like a knight? Dark Angels.
Yeah, that would be the one.
And maybe she'd paint them based on her knights as well.
Yeah, maybe she wouldn't paint them in the general Dark Angels colours. So I guess moving on.
Yes.
Going on to Heracles.
So, big, dumb, punchy guy.
I mean, obviously he's nuts.
Yeah, I say dumb. I think it's the madness enhancement just makes him irrational and crazy.
I mean, realistically, I think he probably just... Realistically, none of them would play.
Yes.
But, hypothetically, he plays. I mean, I think the obvious... In a way, I was thinking, an obvious answer would be orcs. Because they're just very straightforward, charge and attack.
Come in, punch things, do the good crumpin'.
But I'm thinking like maybe if he isn't mad, if he was just himself, then would he go more in a Greek direction?
I mean, what's the Greek faction in 40k?
I never actually mentioned this to you, did I? But the Iron Warriors kind of are.
Iron Warriors are not the Iron Hands, are they?
Yeah, I know you're getting very confused.
I get very confused. There are so many fucking Space Marines.
Listen, the Iron Hands are loyalists who like to turn themselves into metal. And then the Iron Warriors are arseholes, Greeks, and all about bombarding and sieging.
Yes.
Think of them as the imagine, the Greeks invading Troy, but the Space Marines.
Okay.
And also they're very brutal, and their Primarch was like also very brutal and a dick. So I don't know, in a way would that vibe with Heracles as well?
See, it's one of those was like maybe like non-madness Heracles.
Yeah.
I know that Heracles alter exists in Fate Strange Fake, but I've not read that yet. But I think Stay Night Herc, we've got to factor in like the madness enhancement.
I think
so it is like, what is the best thing that just comes in,
so he
does a lot of punching,
he
and
just plays Goths. He plays Orc Goths.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just very straightforward. Charge at the enemy and hit them with your weapons until they're dead. I don't think anything in the game is quite as straightforward as that.
Yeah. Don't need tactics, just crump.
Yeah.
It's orcs.
Keeping on with servants, Emiya.
Maybe we should talk about what Shirou would play and then what Emiya would play.
Yeah, okay. So I was saying that I think Shirou would play salamanders.
Yeah, they are accepted as being like the good guy faction.
They're kind of the most good and nice Space Marines, pretty much. Yeah, basically I think he would play salamanders because they're very nice to citizens. They go out of their way to save them. They also forge their own weapons, which definitely vibes with him.
He loves his swords.
Yeah, they're also kind of the underdog because they're always outnumbered because there's so few of them in comparison to other Space Marine legions.
Yeah.
This is because they keep sacrificing themselves to save citizens.
Oh, okay. So that definitely feels very hero of justice, like something Shirou would enjoy.
I mean, they also are pyromaniacs, which I don't know if that necessarily vibes with him, but I think everything else does.
Yes.
So, but having said that, talking about Emiya the servant, I think he'd play Raven Guard.
They are very edgy.
Raven Guard are also kind of hero Space Marines, but they are kind of more, well,
I feel like they definitely suit his color scheme a bit.
They do, yeah. Well, they go for the black. They don't do much red.
Yeah, he'd probably do them like black and white with a little bit of red, just for flavor.
I mean, if we were just doing color schemes, then Shirou would play Ultramarines and Emiya would play Blood Angels. Yeah, the Raven Guard are like the stealth Space Marines. The Raven Guard often use sniper rifles. They use jump packs that apparently are almost completely silent.
Oh yeah, very, very quiet jetpacks.
They've got super quiet jetpacks, and they ambush people basically very suddenly, clawing them to death with their lightning claws. I think that suits Emiya pretty much. But at the same time, they are like super anti-slavery and engaging in rebellion. That they actually did a coup to like overwhelm their slavers before they were Space Marines, and then they became Space Marines, for the Imperium. So they didn't really like that, but then they found various other tyrannies, like small scale tyrannies happening on worlds, and did more anti-tyranny rebellion shit against these shitty.
What do you mean, Jim? The Imperium were the good guys in 40k.
Not really, no. Speaking of, I think it's probably worth mentioning that Shirou might not like some of the lore. If I'm imagining Rin coming up to him and being like, the salamanders like genocided a whole planet of like Eldar and humans that were living in peace, right?
Just killed the thing with fire.
Yeah.
They don't like the Eldar.
The salamanders really don't like the Eldar. But yeah, having said that, I think we've discussed Shirou and Emiya, right?
I guess I can't think of like what else might work with Emiya.
Yeah, obviously he really likes tactics and such. I could see him maybe if he was playing like a kill team.
Might go for the guard.
Yeah, but also I could see him playing something if he gets to play Officio Assassinorum characters. They don't really have like their own army as such because they're usually just individual assassins, Yeah. But that could maybe vibe with him. Same with Kiritsugu, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I've just added something for you to put in.
So yeah, so I'm
putting Kiritsugu.
Yeah, because like Kerry probably plays Assassinorum or guard.
Yeah, guard, Assassinorum, that sort of thing. Yeah. So okay, we're gonna move on to Ku.
Yeah, say guard have a lot of guns.
They do. We're gonna move on to Ku.
Ku, yes. What would Ku play? The obvious one that comes to mind is Space Wolves.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, Space Wolves are kind of more Norse, where he's more Celtic.
Yes.
There isn't really Celtic Marines.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Why no Celt Marines? Get on it, Games Workshop.
I'm trying to think if there's really, like, well, actually, here's something to consider. The Death Skulls orcs are inspired by the Scottish for painting themselves blue. But I think that's possibly the most Celtic thing in 40k.
Yeah.
But then I'm thinking maybe Ku wouldn't choose a faction based on being Celtic.
Yes, and I'm wondering what... I'm trying to think, like, personality-wise, what vibes with Ku?
I think he would want to play something for the sake of that thing being fun, as opposed to necessarily winning.
You'd probably value having, a fair and honourable game with someone.
Yeah,
you could have that with whatever faction you're playing.
Yeah, having said that, I can see him enjoying Orc Death Skulls, just because orcs are very swingy. They either, like, win really hard or lose really hard a lot of the time.
Yes.
You can actually attest to that, because you wrecked me last time.
Yeah, and usually he wrecks me.
Yeah, exactly.
In 40k.
So, yeah. Oh, you just clarified, right? Okay. Yeah, no, Ku's a bit hard to place, really. I kind of think if in reality, he'd probably surprise everyone by playing something nobody really would have thought. And then just being like, yeah, why not? It's fun.
Yeah.
And that's completely in character.
I'm trying to think what in your opinion is the most fun thing to play in 40k?
The most fun? I don't know. It's entirely subjective, I would say.
Yes.
I think it'd be kind of weird if he came out and he was like, yeah, I'm playing Drukhari. It was like, and people are like, what? And he's like, yeah, why not? It's fun.
Yeah.
I think
Nids or something.
Yeah, or Nids, yeah, something like that. It'd be. I think he could end up playing something just really unexpected.
I'm trying to think what you'll do. Any for the final say what we think it would most likely be.
Personally, I'm calling for orcs.
Yeah.
Just because orcs are fun and goofy, and I think I could see him enjoying that.
Maybe he would go for the Death Skulls because he could paint them a bit more blue.
Yeah, you could do a bit of the kind of... I don't know, do the Irish Celts not really paint themselves blue and stuff, though?
Like, I'm not entirely sure, but I know maybe he would just enjoy that colour scheme, because he seems to like that.
That is true, he does like blue.
Right, so the next one is Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh sees the God Emperor and immediately goes, he's just like me, for real.
That's me! I'm gonna play the special bodyguard of the Emperor. The Custodes.
Yes, absolute Custodes player.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean,
no question. He could paint them as golden as he is.
I think that if we're not really discussing second armies, but hypothetically, if he did have one, I think he'd also have Grey Knights, because they're sometimes called the arm of the Emperor or that kind of thing.
They would also be gold.
He does his Grey Knights in gold.
It's like,
so they're not even particularly different from the Custodes.
they're the gold knights.
The difference would be that the Custodes are like better Grey Knights, but the Grey Knights are like the psychic Custodes.
Yes.
Because the Custodes are not psychers. That'd be the only real difference.
Yes, it's a Gil.
Yeah.
And we've also considered Kid Gil, because Kid Gil, personality-wise, is quite different.
Yeah.
He's more polite. He seems to be a bit of a team player. And so I feel like, would Kid Gil maybe want to play something a bit more fun?
Yes.
Well, I'd say a bit more fun. What do children like?
I also think he'd be a bit basic, though.
Bit basic,
because he's a kid.
Because he's a kid, yeah.
I think that he'd probably play Space Marines.
Yeah, but like, would it be like, I'm going to play the Ultramarines because they're the popular one?
Well, not even that. I think that it would be more like he's playing Space Marines and he doesn't know that sub-factions exist.
Yeah.
You know? That's what I could see being the case.
They'd probably still be very gold.
He probably could. I could see him still doing them in gold. Very, very few Space Marines actually have like gold coloration.
Plays who are the bright yellow ones who are always building?
Oh
things?
yeah, the Imperial Fists. Yeah, maybe he would like the Imperial Fists, but they
can't paint them yellow.
They are yellow. They're not gold. You could probably do them yellow with like a bit of gold, and it would look pretty good, probably.
Yeah.
And they'd sort of still be recognizable as Imperial Fists, so yeah, maybe.
The next one is Medusa.
Okay, so Medusa, you were asking me about this one, and I think it's really strange. I think this is a weird one. I was saying that in terms of like the way she fights and stuff, what comes to mind is like Harlequins, because Harlequins are very... They like jump into battle doing these dances that constantly, because of the way they're dancing, it's so unpredictable. They're constantly dodging everything all the time.
I was gonna say, she does spend a lot of time, reading in her downtime, so I could see her having the patience to paint the diamonds.
Oh, fuck me. Yeah. You just reminded me of that. The check marks. Also, similarly, there'll be like Slanesh demons in terms of the way they fight. It does also fit with her being a certified freak 7 days a week.
Yes.
But I don't actually think these ones... Well, maybe Slanesh Demons more so, but I don't really think they that much vibe with her personality. What does also come to mind, though, is this weird thing where she's got a sort of bloodlust and hunger.
You're saying blood for the blood god?
No. Actually, that's not what I mean. Because, like, I'm not saying bloodlust in the sense of wanting to kill. I'm saying, like, bloodlust in wanting to eat and drink.
Yes.
So the thing that comes to mind is the Blood Angels. They're vampires who get overcome by the urge to drink blood. The Blood Angels, I think, maybe. Or, if we took this even further, and she doesn't want to just drink blood, but wants to eat someone... There's a lot of options here.
A lot of options for Medusa, yeah.
I'm not sure in which particular direction it's going to go, but I could see any of these.
I'm sure they'd all be painted very nice and purple too.
Yes. If we're keeping in mind that, we're going to go in that kind of color scheme. Probably not the Blood Angels.
I was going to say though, but like, you can paint any...
You can
model in 40K.
Anything you want.
You could take any model in 40K and paint it purple. I do this.
Yeah.
Clue for my favourite faction, it probably shouldn't be purple.
I love being purple. Moving on. Medea.
Yeah, so what would Medea be?
So, is it probably fair to say Medea would prefer things that emphasize, like, psychers and...
Yeah?
Psychic powers.
We see in Hollow Ataraxia...
Do as much magic as possible.
So, yeah, we see in Hollow Ataraxia that she likes building ships in bottles and things like that. So a model building hobby is something that she would probably really enjoy.
Yeah, I can see that. In terms of factions that have a lot of emphasis on psychers,
yeah,
the one that really comes to mind is the Thousand Sons.
Okay.
They're the sort of traitor marines that end up getting connected to Tzeentch, and their leader is Magnus the Red.
Oh yeah, are these the Egyptian themed Space Marines?
They're pretty Egyptian themed, yeah. In terms of other psychic factions, like a lot of emphasis on that. I mean, I guess technically the Grey Knights, but they're kind of like the anti-demon marines. I don't think that really vibes with her. What is like another faction in there that has a lot of psychic?
I'm thinking as well, if we want to go in the model building direction, is there anything that just has lots of like complicated models?
You're thinking of a boat thing.
It's like something that she just has the patience to sit down and be like, I'm going to just build all these little vehicles and all of these little guys.
I think if we're talking complicated, then, well, I mean, probably Tyranids. I don't know, would Tyranids really vibe with her?
Yeah, I don't know if she'd vibe with Nids.
Yeah, I think they're pretty complicated models sometimes. Because a lot of the bigger monsters could be pretty complicated. Although, then again, actually, I'm going back to Thousand Sons again, because if you play as Chaos Marines, there are actually lots of, like, Forge Demon models.
Yeah.
So what it is they're like, they are part mechanical, part demon, and some of those models can get pretty complicated because they have like machine parts and flesh parts all together.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, maybe that could kind of vibe with her.
Oh, yeah.
Then again, actually, she could also just play Tzeentch, you know, Tzeentch demons. Yeah, because they're like magic, you know, Tzeentch is the god of magic and change and ambition, sorcery. So,
She might like that.
Yeah, that might vibe with her.
Yeah, demons do look cool.
Eldar.
As in Dark Eldar, or just...
Just Eldar. I feel like it doesn't actually matter if you play maybe more Craftworld Eldar. They do have like matriarchal Farseers who are like super psychers themselves. So maybe she would like that because their leaders are like these female super psychers.
Oh yeah, powerful magical women. She might like that a lot. She absolutely paints her team leaders to look something like herself.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. I think you could even do that. I think it would even look kind of good. Also, wait, she has pointy ears?
Yes.
She's a fucking elf!
Yes!
She's playing Eldar!
She absolutely plays Space Elves.
Yeah, I was talking about Thousand Sons this whole time. No, I think that's a close second. I think it's got to be Craftworld Eldar.
Okay, so the next one on the list is Sasaki.
Yeah.
He's a samurai.
So... I mean...
We don't see too much of him, like, personality-wise, because he's not in them much. Because this whole thing is he's summoned by Medea, he just guards the gate.
I think maybe people might feel a bit tempted to say that he would play Tau.
That is what I was thinking, but that is purely because of the whole...
Because Tau are Asian.
Tau are there to pander to weebs who like mechas.
I think maybe... he would kind of like the Farsight enclaves. The thing about the Farsight himself wields a big space samurai sword.
Oh, okay. So that maybe he would look at that. Maybe he would see that model and think, "Oh, that guy has a massive sword like me. I'm gonna, I want that."
Yeah. But I don't know if he'd like the Tau in general.
Yeah.
I feel like. He probably, to be honest, wouldn't overly like the sci-fi-ness of 40k.
The mechas. Again, it's like it's one of those where I don't think a lot of these characters would play 40k, but we're saying for the sake of this video that they would.
I don't think he'd even play fantasy.
Yeah.
Sasaki. I feel like almost Sasaki is being forced to play by Medea.
Medea needs somebody to play with. So she's going to force her husband and her servant to play as well.
Well, she's not forcing her husband. Her husband's just agreeing to. Because... Yeah, Sasaki is... I mean, okay, personality-wise, you know, he is about... He does, like... He was all about perfection, right?
Yeah.
So hear me out. I think that he would have liked the Emperor's children had they not turned traitor. I think he would probably be a bit of a, what do you call it? Like an Emperor's Children pre-heresy stan. Because they were all about being perfect. There were less of them as well compared to other legions, but they were all very, like, they honed their skills to perfection and they were all about that. You know, whereas he perfected this one particular technique with his samurai sword, you know?
Yeah.
Sasaki's a bit hard to place.
Yeah, it's one of those where I kind of wish we saw more of him.
I'm trying to think of any other faction that are have a large emphasis on perfection. I guess also the Assassinorum again, but they're not really an outright faction all their own. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about Sasaki. He's hard to
place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next one is do cursed Arm Hassan.
Well, Assassinorum.
Yeah, probably.
But I mean, if he's playing, the thing is, you can't play Assassinorum.
Yeah.
You can have Assassinorum characters if you play as, well, basically, I think
Yeah.
I think definitely you can have them if you're playing Guard.
I was thinking, I was going to make a joke about he's a skeleton face, so what if he plays Necrons? But you said, but then you said you can play Assassinorum if you play Guard. What about the Tawan Desert Raiders?
Oh yeah, if you played the Talan Desert Raiders and then also took Assassinorum. The Talan Desert Raiders obviously are influenced by, not his time though.
Yeah.
His geographical region, sort of the Middle East.
Yes.
But not his own time period so much.
So I was thinking you could maybe do something where he takes those guys and some Assassinorum and maybe tries to make them look like his assassin army.
I could kind of see that. That could be kind of interesting. Yeah.
So it's like we've got like these assassin guys within there, but we also have tanks.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. I'm just imagining he has like these Assassinorum snipers, but he also has guerrilla warfare tanks just appear out of nowhere. That blasting.
Yeah. Absolutely tries to paint them to look like they all have little skull faces too.
Yeah, that even sounds pretty cool, to be honest. I think I'm all of a sudden like, is Hassan like a really based 40k player? Angra Mainyu?
Yeah, what would Angra Mainyu play? This is all of the world's evils.
Demons.
I was just thinking chaos.
Chaos, and he literally plays like Black Legion and just chaos demons undivided. Unless he plays Drukari, because they're also like, they're probably somehow more evil than the factions we just listed.
It's just like, does he want to embrace that I am all the world's evils, I am a demon, I'm going to be a demon in this game? Or does he be like, I am going to make people suffer the most?
Yeah, I think he probably is more of the demon player. Yeah, I think he'd probably play demons. If he didn't play demons, he is playing like, maybe not even the Black Legion, but like the Word Bearers, because they're like the active worshippers of chaos.
Okay, so I think that's done for like servants.
Yeah, I did want to have a little bit of a. So we're going to Shirou is the first one here of non-servants.
Yeah,
and we've already spoken about him.
When you talked about Shirou, yes.
But I did want to maybe, his whole thing with forging and stuff.
Yeah,
and he's made of swords.
Yeah.
You don't think he'd have a bit of a thing about like the Mechanicus? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I could see him maybe liking the Adamax.
The Adeptus Mechanicus, and also maybe the Iron Hands, because the Iron Hands are kind of like the Space Marine Mechanicus.
There are quite a few groups in 40k who seem to like replacing their body parts with machines.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is definitely a far second to Salamanders.
Yeah,
but I just thought it was worth mentioning.
Yeah, like this is his like backup army. He's got his Salamanders, then he's making a little like Mechanicus army on the side. Do you think Shirou could like project his own models, or is it only for swords?
He can project non-models, right?
Well, non-swords.
Non-swords.
He can project like weapons, so he can't just be there like, oh no, my guy's sword broke. Project another tiny little sword.
I guess.
Shirou just projecting a chainsword.
Discovers chainswords in 40k, projects them in real life. Okay, so we'll move on from Shirou, shall we?
Okay, so next one on there is Rin.
Yeah, so I was saying...
Rin does not understand technology, but could she understand model building strategy game?
Hey, sure. It's always, this is a weird hypothetical.
Yeah, weird hypothetical.
I think hypothetically, though, she would play this game to win. So with that in mind, I think she would play whatever is meta. Let me actually look up what is considered meta these days.
But that's what she'd play, but would it be her favourite?
It's a good question.
Depending on what it is.
I think she would probably choose something that she liked that was also pretty meta. So, okay. What I have here is that the best ones listed here is like Death Guard. I'm telling you right now, I don't think she'd play Death Guard.
Yeah.
Then I got like Black Templars. I don't really see her playing Black Templars.
I could say it says Mechanicus there, and I don't think she'd like Mechanicus.
I don't think she'd like Mechanicus. Then it says like the Leagues of Votan, which I don't think you even really know anything about.
Those are the dwarves, aren't they?
The Space Dwarves, which I don't know. Maybe? They have a high emphasis on technology as well.
Yeah.
Okay, it's but like, then after that...
Who enjoys digging more, the Leagues of Votan or the Krieg?
Krieg, weirdly. They probably just use giant drills, the Votan, you know. They're not really digging, they're mining.
They're still digging.
Then it says, like, we got Grey Knights, which I think is getting a little better. But then it says, like, Adeptus Sororitas. I could maybe see her playing Sisters of Battle. Sure. Yeah, maybe. I'm going to check, like, other sources. See what else is considered to be sort of top armies. Oh, I do have here some interesting ones. We've got Aldari, so that's Eldar.
Oh, okay.
Which, yeah, I could see her liking Eldar. They got that kind of sleek look. I could see they're doing... I could see her painting it in her colours.
Yeah. That's the thing, she does all sort of gem magic and stuff, so I could imagine her doing sort of very nice, shiny colour schemes on whatever it is that she paints.
Yeah. And then they've got here, like, Gene Stealer cults and Imperial Knights. Would she... I don't think she'd really like Gene Stealer cults. You know, the Tyrannid human hybrids. I don't know if she'd really be into that. But Imperial Knights, I don't know. I could see her being like, yeah, I'm not gonna make a big army. I'm just gonna have like 3 giant models that blast the fuck out of your army from across the battlefield. I could see her being like that, yeah.
Yeah, that could work.
Rin is a bit hard to place because it's hard to say. I mean, what would she like? I think she would just like something that she would enjoy playing while also it being...
the thing that wins.
Yeah, the thing that wins a lot. And I could see her playing Imperial Knights for that reason, because I think she would appreciate just being like, yeah, I just put my knights here on the side of the battlefield and they all shoot and you die.
Yeah. Something where she can strategize and just win.
So the next person we have listed here is Kirei. Word bearers.
Yes, I was going to say, isn't he just Lorgar?
He's just going to play the evil space priests. I guess it's fair to say special mention for the Drukhari, because they're all about causing suffering.
He just wants to make the other person suffer.
The word bearers are more him, but I think he would like playing Drukhari, though. Because that whole thing is, we like to cause suffering, and your enemy will definitely suffer a lot while playing against you, because we have a very annoying army. So I think he'd actually probably play Drukhari.
Yeah, but he loves the word bearers like the most.
Yeah, word bearers definitely him thematically. Definitely.
Isn't Erebus just Space Kirei, but less based?
Yeah. So, no, imagine Kirei was a space marine and he was cringe. That's Erebus. That's what Erebus is. And now you understand why everyone hates him.
That is true. As opposed to why people don't hate Kirei.
Everyone loves Kirei. He's awesome.
It's one of those, but
everyone loves to hate him.
Yeah, it's like, Kirei is an absolute bastard, but I'm yet to see anybody say that they, like, genuinely hate him as a character. It's they're like, he's the villain, but you love him being the villain.
So then we got Karen.
Sisters?
She plays Sisters, or Grey Knights. These are the Hunters of Demons and Heretics.
So, do Inquisition?
Inquisition, yeah. Well, if you can... You can't really play... I think you can play some Inquisitors. Once again in the Guard, I think.
My friend plays Inquisitors.
If you're playing Kill Team, you could have, like, Inquisition.
Yes, I think you can play them in Necromunda as well.
Yeah.
Because my friend, like, he has models of Inquisition, but, like, his kill team is Inquisition with the Garskins.
Or he plays Demons, which is kind of weird.
Maybe she just kind of accepts the sort of the irony of what if I be a demon in this little game?
Yeah. what if she's kind of like... Well, I was thinking more like she's keeping the demons close to her.
Yes.
It's literally what she does in real life, you know? In her that's her job. So
Yeah, like, I keep the demons close to me, so I'll build and paint and make these little demons that I can look after.
yeah.
Keep with me, yeah.
You could kind of play that kind of angle. But I think more likely she probably plays... I actually think she'd favour Grey Knights over Sisters.
Oh, yeah.
Because Sisters are all about hunting heretics.
Oh, yeah.
Grey Knights are about hunting demons.
Mhm.
So, yeah. She probably also would really like Chaos Gate. That's a Warhammer game that came out relatively
I said
recently.
Sisters of Battle because they are battle nuns and she's a nun.
She is a battle nun. You do raise a good point.
It's like, yeah, she is a battle
Well, she
nun.
is a nun.
Would she maybe like to play the battle nun version of herself, but with, you know, a big eviscerator
Yeah.
and lots of guns?
That's a point as well, actually. Probably if she did play Sisters, not too many of the Sisters with bolt guns and power armor. Maybe some with flamers, yes, but mostly just them without any armor whatsoever, running in with giant chainswords.
Yeah, is that the Sister Repentia?
Yes, the Repentias. Just play lots of Repentia.
Josh, our friend has a sister skill team, and they're nasty.
Oh yeah, they fucking fuck you up if they get into melee. Okay, well that's Karen. So then we're moving on to Ilia?
Ilia, yes. What does Ilia play? She's like a childish little girl, but she likes having a big, strong punching man do her bidding.
Yeah, so we were saying Custodes.
Yes.
Weirdly, you get the biggest, strongest guys, and it's kind of what she wants.
Yeah,
right?
I think she would paint them very differently from Gil's.
Yes.
She's a kid. She'd probably be like, I'm gonna make them pink and purple.
I was saying there is a kind of like gold and purple color scheme version of Custodes, but she probably wouldn't even do that. She'd just be like purple and white.
Alternatively, Drukhari could be an option because of what she commands Heracles to do to people. Would the behead them and violate them not appeal to her in this game?
I don't think that's something she vibes with. I think it's just I think she was just angry in that moment.
Yeah.
She does have a whole homunculus thing though, and there are actually homunculus. There is like in Drukhari there are some units called homunculi.
Yes.
Which I didn't really think about until just now.
Isn't that the weird human furniture though? Or am I thinking of something else?
No. The homunculi are like they're Drukhari who make people into the furniture.
Yes.
Yeah, they're not homunculi in the
normal
meaning.
like Einsburn way.
Yeah, no, it's not really. Doesn't mean that. She probably would read it and then be like, "This isn't what I am at all."
I don't like this.
I don't like these people.
I'm gonna beat them up with my big punching man.
The only other thing I could see her maybe playing is orcs, because big punching men.
Like she plays orcs and Herc plays orcs.
Oh yeah. No, I think she probably plays Custodes though.
Yeah.
I think she would appreciate more these like super powerful, proud men who like do what she says. All right.
Next one is Kazuki. So he's another one where it's say Assassinorum, but of course you can't play them as their own thing.
He's very punchy.
Yeah, it's like he's very good at hand-to-hand combat.
What if he played some Space Marines with power fists?
Who use the power fist the most?
It's just sort of a general thing. I'm trying to think if there is a particular... What if he plays the Iron Hands? Because they use their iron hands to fist the opponents.
Yes! That's what is that not what he's doing?
Yes, exactly. Exactly, Ollie. Fucking stupid.
Again, like I think he would only be playing because his wife is playing, and his wife wants to have more models to paint and build, and someone to play the game with.
He just sees there's a group of Space Marines called Iron Hands, and like, oh yes, that's what I do. I'll play that.
I'll play that, and then Medea is like, oh, that's nice. I will build all these for you. The loving girlfriend who paints her boyfriend's 40k models.
I don't know if there's anything else really to say about Kazuki.
Yeah.
I suddenly feel like really like sad about Medea and Kazuki. Oh, it's so cute.
Yeah. So what does Sakura like to play?
Well, she is a certified freak 7 days a week.
She doesn't like to admit it.
Yeah. See, this is why I think I was saying to you, she'd probably, if she was being dishonest, she'd like to bring, ultramarines or also salamanders, like the nicest and kind of most normal things, but actually Emperor's Children. She wants to indulge. Emperor's Children and like Slanesh demons. That's like her whole thing. She's got this is what's going on underneath.
Just like she wants to let those thoughts win sometimes.
Mm.
Right, Shinji Matou, what does he like? I think Shinji would also be like Rin, where he wants to play to win, but I think he'd be very shit at it.
So here's the funny thing about that, what you just said. I was looking up things, and one of the things that comes up a lot as winning a lot is Death Guard. I think that would really suit him because he's really shit.
Yeah,
and they're a big stinky poo that's going to throw their shit at you. But equally, also Nurgle demons.
I was always going to say, who are those?
But who just make really poor tactical decisions while playing the game.
Yeah, I was also going to say maybe something like Night Lords as well. That's just known for being very nasty,
being really shit and being really nasty
nasty to everybody.
Yeah, but they're competent.
They're competent, yeah.
I mean, maybe he'd like...
That's the thing, maybe he would like it, because like, oh, they're nasty and horrible, but they're competent, so I will win. And then he plays very badly, because he's fucking Shinji Matou.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Yeah, maybe he'd play Night Lords, just be really bad at it. We got Zoken.
Yeah, what would Zoken do?
Zoken's really, like... He very much just does whatever he can to... Necrons.
Oh yeah, because he wants to live forever.
He wants to live forever. And they always resurrect themselves. That's something they're constantly doing. They live for eternity. Maybe as a side thing, Drukhari, because they have a whole thing where they keep resurrecting themselves, or like the rich amongst them do that. But I think it's more Necrons, really. I think he plays Necrons. Okay,
Fujin.
I don't know.
I can't think what Fujin plays. I know
something fun.
Yeah, probably something fun. Is there any? I can say there's not. You can't get models of felinids because that's what she would absolutely get if it was a thing that you could get models of.
Yeah, probably. You could put felinids down, but it's not like an actual part.
Yeah, you can't actually play felinids.
I'm imagining she comes to the game and she's got like a guardsman army that is just she's modified to make them into felinids.
And they're all tigers.
That'd be kind of funny. I think that people have made their own like modified felonid army. It's it's pretty rare stuff, but yeah. I mean, yeah, there's not much in the way of like tigers. Wait, is there like a tiger space marine chapter or something? There might be.
Space wolves exist. There's shark space marines. They could make tiger space marines.
Oh yeah, it's the one called the Tiger Claws.
Okay. Are they like an official one?
Yeah. They're from the 21st Cursed Founding. Okay. Successors of the Astral Claws. Okay.
Is that a thing you can get models of?
The Tiger Claws are traitors. Thought they were.
How many fucking space marines are there?
So they were loyalist, and then something happened and they became chaos. There's a lot of Space Marine chapters.
Yeah, there are so many Space Marines that exist.
So maybe Tiger Claws, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they are actually called Tiger Claws.
Like, she'd go out of her way to be like, oh, Shirou likes to play this game. I'm going to play this game too. And then immediately looks for whatever is like tiger or cat themed within it and picks that. And then we've got Issei and... yeah, Issei next. What would Issei play?
Imperial Fists. I think he'd play Imperial Fists and or Black Templars. Why is this? Because he's basic and he hates women. No, I just think he's got this kind of like very strictness to him, doesn't he? He's very like, I want things done correctly and by the book, which is very Imperial Fist, very Rogel Dawn. And Black Templars are also they're a split off of the Imperial Fists. But they're really fucking angry and nuts. So maybe he'd kind of vibe with that, because he does have a kind of seething anger, like it seems like all the time, right? Maybe
he's trying to be a monk.
He's playing Black Templars, wanting to try and like kill Rin's Imperial Knights.
He has like a special hatred for. What is the best thing to fight Imperial Knights with?
Probably something that has a lot of like anti-vehicle,
Is there an army that's designed around being anti-vehicle?
I mean, you could certainly play Space Marines to do that. Probably not Black Templars. They've got a lot of melee focus. Probably the Imperial Fists would be better for that, because they're also more tanky. So basically, they might be able to tank some of the Imperial Knight hits and then dish out their own hits to kill off the Knights. So, yeah, I mean, well, what's especially good for killing Imperial Knights? Probably Guard, which I guess I could see him playing too. Play Guard, and then you have, like, Lehman Russes and, well, Lehman... More like, what do you call them? The Bane Blades. You're bringing, like, Bane Blades with your Guard army, and they're equipped with nothing but las guns. Sorry, not las guns, las cannons.
Yeah.
So he's just, like, launching all of the las cannons at these Imperial Knights. Basically a really tank-heavy Imperial Guard army.
Yeah, just maybe even the Talon.
No, they're not more. They're more like they don't really do the Bane Blade so much.
They're
more like
they don't
fast-moving, sudden, out of nowhere guerrilla warfare.
Okay, they don't have that sort of tank.
They do maybe have them, but it's not really their speciality.
Yeah, just he plays whatever is the best thing to counter Rin.
Yeah, that's maybe something. I'm just imagining that Rin and Issei have like a just constant counterplay against each other, and Rin is just having fun the whole time while Issei is just getting slowly more and more pissed off. Yeah, you know what I think the real shipping here
and Shirou is there like, guys, can't we just have fun?
So here's the real shipping. Okay, Shirou and Sakura, and Issei finally fucks Rin. Like, we know he wants to. And finally we have
Bazette. What would Bazette play?
Something with, like, a lot of magic and a lot of punch. Well, Grey Knights. They're fighty, but also a lot of psychic powers. Yeah, maybe that would kind of...
Yeah, maybe Grey Knights. I'm trying to think if there's nothing that's just good for countering everything else, because hard countering everyone is kind of what Bazette does.
There's not really... I wouldn't say there's one faction that's good for countering everything else. Because if there was, it would probably be, way too strong.
Yes.
Grey Knights can be pretty good against a lot of things, though. Although, to be fair, if you play Guard and then you take Assassins, they do kind of counter different factions depending on what you need.
Yeah.
So, like, if they have one big, special, powerful leader, you take... I can't remember what each type of Assassinorum was called, but you take the ones... The sniper one, If you need... if you've got an enemy that has a lot of psychic powers, a lot of psychers, you take the ones that are the anti-psychers, If you've got one that's got a lot of units, you just take the one that's the... I forget what they're called. The nutty one that's just on drugs and just kills everything around. Yeah, I think she's more Grey Knights.
Like, I hear people refer to Bazette as being a girl failure pretending to be a girl boss. And I'm there like, well, I'm a girl failure, and I know what I play, but I don't think Bazette would play that.
Yeah, I think your preferred faction is kind of...
Yeah.
Well, people kind of like it, but I don't...
People like them, but they're a bit odd.
I don't know if there's that many people who would consider it their favourite. Anyway, well, there's some clues for the audience.
There you go.
Okay, well, have we covered everyone we want to cover? If we wanted to, if people like this, maybe we'll expand it to like 0.
Yeah, if people like this, we'd be happy to do this for other Fate characters. So yeah, do you like Warhammer? If so, please tell us your favourite faction in the comments. If anybody can guess mine.
Not sure what you can offer.
I don't know what I can offer you, but yeah, there you go, that's your guess. What's my favourite faction? What's his favourite faction?
Oh yeah, you can guess what my favourite faction is as well, I guess. My opinion has changed a bit over time, so yeah.
This was kind of a very fun idea that we kind of just had off the cuff while reading Hollow Ataraxia.
Yeah, that ultramarine skirt.
Ultramarine skirt caused this.
It was so funny and weird, yeah. Now I'm just imagining Ultramarines in a skirt.
You're just the Ultramarine, but he's wearing Saber's
It's
outfit.
Roboto, girly man!
Hello there. Thank you for watching to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, then feel free to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and maybe you could follow me on Twitch for more content that I make more often. And please continue to enjoy the rest of your day. If you enjoy Dungeons and Dragons and other nerdy hobbies, then maybe you would like to subscribe to Evil Eye on YouTube. It's very clear from my little mascot character that I really love anything with a bat motif. So, of course, my favourite faction in Warhammer 40k is the Death Corps of Krieg.